right. Good afternoon, Caroline. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Doing quite well. Doing really well. I've really been looking forward to getting back together. I can't believe it's been well over a year since our last podcast together. And by way of a formal introduction, Caroline Sanabria, not
Yes.
Sanabria, Sanabria. And we have
You
some
got it right.
rebranding. Oh, yeah. We have some rebranding of your agency now and your real estate group here. It's now Kazana Realty Group by Real. Did I get that correct?
Correct.
All right, good. Well, we're super excited. And, the last time we spoke together, it was a topic about the mindset of a champion and what that meant to you and all of that, and really enjoyed that podcast. And since that time, a lot of people in the business, in speaking to realtors, they've been wondering about a team. What should I
hmm
do if I want to grow my business? Should I stay as a solo agent and just, work on deals myself? Or should I build a team to lead to greater growth? So I thought that maybe we could share that topic today and talk about that. But before we do, would you like to share a little bit about what's happening in San Antonio? I hear there's zero inventory there. Is that true?
Oh, I wish, but no, we have an abundance of inventory going on. New builders are still developing in several areas of San Antonio. I feel like we're growing past the center of San Antonio. We're growing more so into the outskirts, but overall, inventory is still strong here. We are having an abundance of both new builds and pre-owned. It's still considered a buyer's market over here, so buyers have pretty much all the leverage, and I blame the builders for that. But overall, we're still in a very strong, healthy market down here.
That's great. And could you tell us a little bit about your demographics there, about the families and clientele that you serve in your community?
So the beauty about San Antonio is that we're a very diverse city. And the clients that I serve the most or that I'm blessed to help the most are military relocating, normally in the medical field as well is where I see a lot, but my bread and butter has been military, police officers, medical field. So pretty much like our heroes. I haven't had the pleasure of helping firemen yet. So that one's
That's
still in
coming.
my
That's coming.
to-dos. Yes, those are the ones I'm missing to complete all the circle of heroes. But we have a fair share of different people that move in here. We have very young professionals, we have retirees. So we have a very diverse type of market, people that are coming from other states, from other countries, all types of cultures. So it's really nice to get to see all these different types of backgrounds that come into our beautiful city.
Yeah, well, we really appreciate that update, and I'm glad you clarified that myth about inventory because
Yeah.
um, well, let's transition a little bit into what we mentioned earlier, the value of a team. And maybe you could just share a little bit about how you got into the business, as a realtor, and then we can kind of talk about get your thoughts on maybe why a team approach could be beneficial to growth. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of how you got into real estate there and where you're at now?
Yeah, well, long story short, when I moved here to the States, I come originally from Colombia, and while I was getting all of my naturalization situation acquainted, I was before a graphic designer, so I was doing branding and everything. And my husband was diving with a couple of friends of his into the flipping industry, right? So flipping
Hmm,
houses. And being my curious self, I started observing and following what they were doing. And I'm very curious. So I want to know how everything is how everything works, like the machine in itself. So flipping is just a middle thing. So how do you get the properties? I started diving into wholesale and finding
Mm,
the lower end properties, the ones that are in distress, the ones that needs to sell fast, the ones that have a lot of potential. So I started doing wholesale. The properties that I wanted to flip myself, I would keep and I would start flipping them. And then I encountered another part of the puzzle, which is what do you do after you acquired this distressed property? And then after you fix them up, what's the next step? And then the next step was traditional real estate, which is selling it on the market on the MLS and finding their end buyer. So I started observing different realtors and seeing how they would work, and I fell into the trap that a lot of people fall into. That's easy money. It's like selling sunset. You're like just glamming up, going into these luxury homes, and as soon as you put a for sale sign, it's already sold. Like easy money, right? So I thinking I can, I'm like, I'm gonna get my license, easy peasy. I got it in a couple of weeks, maybe months. And I got my license and I started looking into brokerages. And I started looking in the mindset, which one am I going to be able to keep the most money? Because when you're traditional real estate, now you have to, your whole commission is not going to go to you. You have to have splits. So your brokerage will keep a percentage of it and you'll keep the remaining. So I was already turning down all of the other brokerages that were offering a lower split, and I just wanted to keep as much money. What I didn't
sure.
realize is 0% of 100% is 0%. No, sorry. 0 of 100 is still zero.
That's right.
And that was my thing when I realized how I was being an actual realtor and getting clients and doing all that stuff. I froze. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know how to fill out a contract, which is like the most basic thing. So I was struggling trying to like understand how to work the system, how to get leads, how to manage my business. And I just kept doing wholesaling and flipping, and I thought I was gonna just quit real estate overall. And then I started transitioning. My husband started pushing me into like, don't quit yet, find out more, like what else you can do. And I started looking into other brokerages. And that's when I discovered the beauty of teams and the importance of being in the right brokerage at the right time, despite of the
Oh,
splits.
yeah. That's good right there. So,
Yeah.
timing, the right brokerage, and so now being with Real. I have some really good friends and colleagues that are with Real. Can you tell us a little bit about Real and kind of what their approach to real estate is?
So Real is the innovative brokerage that has been lately in the last couple of years. It's the newer brokerage in comparison to all the other brick and mortar original old school like Keller Williams and Coldwell Banker. And their approach was very similar to EXP's, but the way that they, sorry, my phone starts ringing at the worst times.
I know, mine did too. I'm like, silence, silence.
It just threw me completely off base.
That's all
Um,
right. You're telling us about Real and kind of what their business model is, how they help you know agents get set and things like that.
Yes. So Real took a very similar model to EXP. You know, it's a cloud-based brokerage, so we're not a brick and mortar. We're nationwide. We work on the cloud, but despite being a cloud-based brokerage, we still have local offices. And I know nationwide other agents open their own brick and mortar offices for other agents to go in and collaborate. And the beauty about Real is that that's the whole philosophy behind it. It's a collaboration. It's real agents helping agents overall, despite the fact if you are or not with the same brokerage. Like we help each other grow. We collaborate. We don't try to hide a secret or trust
Hmm.
like our findings. We have a low split as well, which is also a good perk in comparison to the other brokerages that are average 70/30, where you keep 70 and the brokerage keeps 30. With real, you're an 85/15. And you have a cap
Nice.
of $12,000. So once you reach that cap, you're 100%, and then it resets every anniversary year. On top of that, there's multiple ways you can make money. And I don't want to go too into the details of
Yeah,
it, but they have different ways to make sure that their
sure.
agents are being taken care of.
I love that. And speaking about building the team, I'm sure that's where, as you bring on even additional team members, that's where that one-on-one, you'll have that chat with them. You'll let everybody know what their options are, how they can service the clients better, how they can make more money as well. So we'll save
Yes.
that for the one-on-one.
Yes.
Talking a little bit about a team, um, the question comes up a lot is why should I consider building a team? And it seems, like a pretty easy question, but there's really a lot to it. And one thing that came to my mind was, the phrase, it takes a village, right? We only, as one individual, we only have 24 hours in a day.
Mhm.
We only have so much strength and energy. We have responsibilities, family, this and that. So it's, to do things as a solo person can be very challenging. You can be very effective with it, but if you're trying to expand and grow and, you know, 2x, 10x your business, then
Yes.
that's why people think about a team. So maybe I can get your thoughts. Why do you feel that the team approach would help towards one's growth?
So when you get your license, you have two routes you can take. You can take the hard route, which is the one I took and I don't recommend. And it's you're gonna learn the hard way. You're gonna let life teach you the hard way, and you're gonna be facing a lot of obstacles as you start learning. And if you do it the hard way, you're gonna start taking advice from so many people because you're gonna be watching YouTube, you're gonna be watching TikTok, you're gonna be talking to your cousin, aunt, realtor that had their license 20 years ago. And you're going to be getting so much information. You don't know which one's the right one, which one's not. And you're going to be learning trial and error. So if you want to do it that way, by all means, it's just going to take a little bit longer, or maybe not. Maybe you'll learn quickly. But it's a path that's going to be taking a lot of trial and error between before you finding your own thing and you understanding the concept behind being a good realtor for that matter. Because let's admit it, there's hundreds of thousands of realtors. Not all of them are good. So
That's true.
when you
Same with
join
lenders.
yeah. When you join a team, you are pretty much taking, I don't want to say the easy route, but the easy route. So you already have systems and processes and support and mentorship and guidance and so many other things. And each team is different. What they offer on each team is different. It also depends on which brokerage and team you're joining under. But joining a team gives you leverage. You can leverage their experience. You can leverage their knowledge. You can leverage their assistance and whatever they have to your advantage. And honestly, that's something I wish I would have done from the start. Because then, if I would have been growing faster than what I am right now because I had to struggle so much to get to where I am. So that's what I would say. If you're a newer agent starting in the business, joining a team is probably your best bet because they're going to take you by the hand and put you through all the things you need to learn. And we may not know everything, but we have seen a lot. So if you're already in a situation where you don't know what to do or what to say, more than likely your team lead would already have gone through it and would know what to tell you or what to do. So that's what I would say between going
Yeah.
solo versus team.
Yeah, that's well said. And I also hear a lot, well, as soon as I get my license, I'm ready to go. It's easy money. The licensing part, you know, that's
Hmm.
it's necessary, of course, but it's where the real work starts is learning how to speak to people, how to show them what they're asking for in real estate, how to provide the
Mhm.
right programs for financing, things like that. And being able to, when you have processes, like you said, processes that are already time tested, they work. And now you can duplicate that, triplicate it, quadruplicate it, and get others doing who are of your mindset. And that's the key I find even in building our own mortgage team is finding other loan officers that align with our thinking and the way that we
Yeah.
like to work with our realtor partners and work with your buyers. And the processes are the processes. We teach them that. That's good. They stick with that, they'll have no problem. But it's the people skills. It's the ability to treat people like you treat people. And you set such a good example with that. You always have a big smile on your face. You obviously love what you do. And, there's stressful times, right? But you love what you do. And now, how do you, when you bring on a team member, how do you what do you look for when you're maybe doing the interview process or someone refers you and says, "Hey, you know what, Caroline, this might be a good person for your team." Like, what qualities do you look for? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
So for my team in particular, I'm trying to look for somebody that has motivation, that has drive, that has passion, because those are things that you cannot teach. You
That's
can
right.
teach the basics, you can teach the knowledge, you can teach how to follow a checklist, but you can't teach passion. You can't teach self-drive. And that's something that I'm looking for somebody that's wanting to join my team. I don't want somebody that just wants everything handed to them. I want somebody that wants to learn how to do it because it's like the phrase says, give a man fish, they'll eat for a day, teach them how to
Hmm.
fish, they'll have it forever is the same thing. And I'm not saying I'm not going to help you with giving you leads and give you a head start, but don't expect that to be always because I want you to learn how to do it on your own. What if my team just stops the next day? Like, what are you going to do then? Like, you need to learn the basics and the foundations and grow from there. And the thing is, I don't expect the people that join my team to stay with me forever. I mean, it would be great if they do, but I know that's not going to be the case, right? And I'm not going to be offended by them. On the contrary, it's like I'm a mentor, I'm a teacher, I'm guiding you, I'm giving you everything that you need to learn to eventually let you fly and do your own thing. Not everybody wants to build a team, that's okay. But in the case that you do, you already have all the resources that you need. So, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for somebody that's motivated, that learns, that wants to learn, that's not afraid to try and take risks. Because this industry overall, you need to get yourself out there. You need to be outside of your comfort level. Nothing grows into comfort level. So if you're okay with trying new things, and I'm not saying, the viral crazy dances and all that
Right.
stuff, but strategic
Yeah,
things, then yeah.
that makes sense. I remember the first time we met you, you were breaking in right into social media. You were posting all kinds of stuff. And you remember we were all sitting at the dinner table that night, and you were like, okay, I want this many followers, right? And you were like, okay, I'm
Oh,
gonna get,
yes.
remember that? Yeah, I'll never forget that. And one of my buddies was messing with you a little bit, and he put his follower on, and he took his follower off just to mess with you.
I was gonna get my first 1,000 followers, and oh my God, I was 9.99, and then finally got 1,000. And when I'm like, wait a minute, I'm back to
Just
9.99.
unfollowed me. That was such a funny night. And but what that told me is you were hungry for putting yourself out there and letting people see what you do and how you can help them, but also doing so in a fun way. And your videos, some of them, I couldn't stop laughing. They were so um, down to earth, but they were funny and they were in a way that would relate to people. They were
Yeah.
relatable and it was good content. And you've really done a nice job with that. And maybe even you stepped outside of your comfort zone in some of that. Did you ever feel like you were coming outside of your comfort zone to do that?
Well, the thing with me is that I have always been okay in front of a camera. So being and recording myself has not been something that was like a risk or being outside of my comfort zone because I love the attention. So recording and
Spotlight.
making videos is something that I do naturally. Now, finding the right videos is where I have been struggling a lot more, trying to find what's my style. How do I want people to recognize me? How am I going to continue doing this trends? Because overall, social media is another job, and finding
It is.
your signature in your videos takes time, takes practice. That's why you see me doing a lot of different things until I find the right thing. And then after that, you're going to see your channel grow and followers following you for you and your content. But I think the things that would be me coming out of my comfort zone are things like cold calling, which I hate, door knocking,
Oh yeah.
all of the things that traditional real estate would tell you you need to do and that you
Yeah.
can still do and grow. But there's another set of things that you can be doing to grow your real estate business that doesn't necessarily entail doing that. But yeah, I've done my share of things that makes me get out of my comfort zone, like flying to Detroit, meeting a whole
Uh-huh.
number of people.
That was a really fun trip. And, I think the exciting part is, when you can get in a group of like-minded people, like you said, they're passionate about what they do. They're motivated. You don't have to poke them and prod them. And you can see
Yeah.
how and learn best practices. You can see what they're doing that's working for them. And if they're honest, they'll share, you know what, I've tried this. It wasn't working. So I pivoted, I made this adjustment. But those are the
Mhm.
kind of people that, when we surround ourselves with, including those that we build a team with, we bring on people that have those qualities you just described, then there's no reason why we should not see and experience good growth. And you mentioned a key point is that sometimes people just want to be fed. They want to be spoon
Yeah.
fed. Here you go. Here's all these leads, it's great. And when I'm hiring a new loan officer, I describe to them there's two different types of lions. There's the lion in the zoo. The zookeeper comes in, feeds them every single day. The lion doesn't have to worry about where the food's coming from. They get fed every single day. That's just like feeding people leads. Here you go. Make calls, go. We're handing it to you. Then there's the lion
Yeah.
that's in the wild, in the jungle. That lion does not eat and feed his family unless it hunts and kills. And
Yep.
we do a hybrid. you know we teach you how to hunt. We teach you how to work with the best agents in the business like yourself. We then feed you leads as well. So I think it's really important to set the right expectations with people, because sometimes people have that, oh yeah, I'll just go work with any brokerage shop or whatever, and they'll feed me everything and
Hmm.
easy peasy. That's
Yeah.
that's not the right expectation.
And if you go going along with that line, I've seen agents that rather give a big chunk of their commissions to join brokerages that give them that. So you're going there, you're spending all this time, money, and resource, and you're getting all these leads fed to you by your brokerage, and then you're giving up 50, if not more percent of already your commission. And then from the remaining, you still have to pay taxes. You still have to make up for the
That's
gas,
right.
marketing, all that stuff. So you're left over with nothing. So how about instead of you giving up that much money that from your hard work, you learn how to do it yourself, and then you can start getting more of your commissions and your hard work money. It's like it's priorities.
Yeah, no, that's well said. And I think you and I, we both wake up unemployed every day, right? Until we
Yes.
until we go and generate business, and it's that way. But it's also a mindset. It's a mindset that really works. To our benefit when we can find the right people for our team. So what I thought we would do is the next time we get together, I would like to talk a little bit more about the benefits of building a team, but then we'll also go into how to do so. How does that sound?
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect.
Awesome. Well, I can't thank you enough for joining today and sharing your insights on why you feel it's important to build a good team. And Caroline, you've really done a great job there. I watch your social media. I see the things that you're doing to help families, and you're really to be commended for working so hard. But also, you're a mentor. So your goal is to help others be successful.
Yeah.
So we're grateful for your time today. I know you're super busy. So until next time, Caroline Sanabria from the Kazana Realty Group by Real. I wish you much success.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
You are very welcome, my friend.